Hello, good morning. Today I would like to talk on photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a huge or large topic, so I wish to divide this chapter into three units. Unit 1, that is nothing but the photosynthesis 1, deals with introductory portion of this chapter. Unit 2, that is photosynthesis 2, deals with light reaction and dark reaction. Part 3, photosynthesis 3, deals with C4 cycle and photorespiration. First of all, let us know the definition of photosynthesis. The process in green plants and certain other organisms by which carbohydrates are synthesized from carbon dioxide and water using light as an energy source, or in other words, the synthesis of complex organic material that is nothing but the glucose using inorganic substances, that is carbon dioxide, water, inorganic salts and light energy, that is captured by light absorbing pigments such as chlorophyll and other antennae or accessory molecules. See, the biological world, with negligible exceptions, runs at the expense of materials and energy captured or accumulated as a result of photosynthesis. From the products of photosynthesis, living organisms have been built up by complex kinds of molecules which constitute the cellular structure of plants and animals. In addition, the energy expanded in this operation of living organisms also derives from this source. On oxidation of food in the living cell, energy will be released and it can be used in metabolic process. The chemical energy of foods releasable upon oxidation represents the converted energy of sunlight which was originally entrapped within the molecules of organic compounds during photosynthesis. See, this is the simple equation formula of photosynthesis. In this picture, you can observe the combination of carbon dioxide, atmospheric carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of light, and ultimately there is a production of glucose. Of course, oxygen molecules will also be evolved as a byproduct. This is somewhat detailed equation of photosynthesis. Here there are 6 carbon dioxide molecules, 12 ATP molecules, 12 water molecules, 12 NADPH and hydrogen are the inputs during photosynthesis. The output is 1 molecule of glucose, 18 pyrophosphate and 18 ADP, 12 NADP and 6 molecules of oxygen is the output. Of course, ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ. So, based on all these observations, according to biological economists, wealth, all sorts of wealth originates directly or indirectly as a consequence of photosynthesis. These products, that is photosynthetic products, are derived from the living organisms and hence also represents the photosynthetic capital. The energy released from them upon combustion represents the sunlight of past geological epochs. So this is true of all plant and animal products and also our heritage of coal and natural gas from the past geological ages. Hence, the photosynthesis is the biggest photochemical and biochemical phenomena acting as a master key for the existence of life on this globe. So ಈ ಗ್ಲೋಬ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಇದೆ, ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ photosynthesis is responsible. In turn, the solar energy or sunlight is the chief driver of this reaction. So photosynthesis is the ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೀ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೀನ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು ಅಂದರೆ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. Next, nature of radiant energy. See, an elementary knowledge of the physical properties of light and other kinds of radiations is very essential for proper understanding of photosynthesis and many other photobiological reactions. See, the light appears to be propagated across the space as an undulatory waves. Here in this picture, the movement of light is shown. That is, light travels, propagates in the form of undulatory waves. The distance between two successive peaks, two successive crests, is nothing but the wavelength that is indicated by the letter lambda. Inverted y ಬರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ lambda ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Although the sunlight appears to be white, it is a mixture of different colors. The electromagnetic spectrum of light is as follows. See here, see, this is the electromagnetic spectrum of sunlight. It starts from gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, visible light, very small area, then infrared rays, radar, FM, TV, shortwave and AM. Above this picture, there is a radiation. It shows the wavelength is less here. In this point, wavelength is less, but as it goes towards the right, wavelength is increases. That means, or in other words, the increased wavelength reduces the energy level. Energy level increases as the wavelength reduces, and or vice versa. Here also we can observe the UV rays has more energy than the visible light. X-rays, X-rays can penetrate into the tissues. Gamma rays are more stronger than the X-rays. From this side, that is towards the right side, infrared rays has less energy than the visible light. Radar has some more less energy than the infrared, FM, TV and so on. See here, the left side, see, visible range, visible light lies in between the, that means moderate energy level. Visible light has moderate energy level. Towards the left, UV rays, X-rays and gamma rays, they have more energy level, but the wavelength is less. Towards the right side of the visible light, that is infrared, radar and so on, these have more wavelength but less energy. See, visible light falls in between the high energy as well as low energy. So this energy sensitizes the plants during photosynthesis. So the nanometer 390 to 760 induces sensation in photosynthesis. See, based on the role of light in photosynthesis, the light is particulate in nature. Light is particulate in nature. According to particulate or quantum theory, the light is composed of a stream of tiny particles. So ಒಂದು light ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, so that is composed of a stream of tiny particles, and each particle is called as a quanta or photon. See, quanta or photon is nothing but the packets of light energy. Quanta or photon is nothing but the packets of light inner energy. When such quanta or photon impinges against a suitable substance, their energy may be transferred to the electrons which they strike, thus inducing photochemical reaction. See, when a photon impinges, dicky ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ ಯಾರಿಗೆ against a suitable substance means photosynthetic pigments. Photosynthetic pigments ಗೆ ಒಂದು photon dicky ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ, photon ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? It's a packets of light energy. So the photon which contains light energy will be transferred to photosynthetic pigments in this reaction. See, the energy manifestation of a photon or quanta is called a quantum. Further, in this slide, I would like to highlight the photochemical changes in chlorophyll when a photon impinges. ಒಂದು ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟಾನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹೊಡೆದ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್. At the center there is positively charged proton and negatively charged electrons are rotating around this nucleus. They are negatively charged with their own orbit. With their own orbit, it is a common stable position. When light energy is transferred from a photon, this electron receives it. After receiving the light energy, this electron will get excited. So excite ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ outer orbit ಗೆ kick ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. outer orbit ಗೆ kick ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Then this excited state is temporary, short duration in terms of milliseconds. So immediately this electron will comes back to its normal stable position, ground state ಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್, ರಿಲೀವಿಂಗ್, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಮೋಡ್ಸ್. ದೀಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಮೇ releases the energy in the form of a heat or in the form of a light fluorescence, or it may transfer to next pigment, or it may be damaged. If the received energy is very high, for example X-rays, gamma rays, then definitely the pigment cannot sustain. So adu damage agogutte, ಒಡೆದೋಗುತ್ತೆ. See, this slide shows the different modes of energy transfer from pigment to another one. Next, photochemical changes in chlorophyll. In the previous slide, I have shown it in the form of a diagrams. See here, you please follow my cursor. This is chlorophyll molecule. When a photon impinges against this chlorophyll molecule, the electrons which are in the ground state receives the energy, then it get excited. So it will be kicked to outer orbit. Outer orbit ke excited state ge hogutte. But as I told you in the beginning, in the previous slide, it is very temporary, it's very short duration, so it will comes back to its original ground state, normal position. But before coming back, the energy should be released in the form of either heat or fluorescence, or it should be transferred to next pigment molecule. These are the different modes of energy transfer in case of chlorophyll molecule. Then till now we are discussing about chlorophyll molecule or pigment molecules. See, the photosynthetic pigments of higher organisms falls into two categories or two classes. Number one is chlorophylls, number two is keratinides. These photosynthetic pigments absorb light energy and convert it into chemical energy. So photosynthetic pigments ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ, ಎರಡು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೆರಾಟಿನಾಯ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ in case of higher plants. In case of chlorophylls, there are 5 to 7 types. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E, bacteriochlorophyll, bacterioviridin, and so on. In carotenoids, basically two types. One is beta carotene, another one is xanthophyll. Some more photosynthetic pigments, they are called as phycobilins. Phycocyanin is a blue pigment. Phycoerythrin, it is a red pigment. In case of chlorophylls, as I told you in the previous slide, there are 6 to 7 types of chlorophylls known as chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E, bacteria chlorophyll in case of bacteria, chlorobium chlorophyll in case of sulfur bacteria. These chlorophylls absorb mainly red and blue violet light. Mainly red and blue violet light will be absorbed by these chlorophylls, reflecting green light. Chlorophyll A is the most abundant photosynthetic pigment, and other pigments are accessory. Accessory means additional or light harvesting antenna molecules. Light harvesting molecules or antenna molecules anta kareetare. Light just simply they harvest the light and transfer into chlorophyll A pigment. So chlorophyll A has the ability to harvest as well as to convert the light energy into chemical energy. Next category is keratinides. Keratinides are of two types, orange keratins and yellow xanthophylls. Mainly these keratinides are known to perform two distinct roles. Generally in examinations, 1 or 2 mark questions they may ask. Write the functions of keratinides. Number 1, keratinides prevents the photooxidation of chlorophyll by chlorophyllase enzyme. Chlorophyll molecule, when it is exposed to light, this chlorophyllase enzyme causes oxidation, that is in the presence of light. So after oxidation, the chlorophyll molecule becomes useless. So these keratinides prevents the photooxidation of chlorophyll molecules by the chlorophyllase enzyme. Number 2, the second function role of keratinides is these keratinides absorb light energy and transfer it to chlorophyll A molecule with which they are associated. So they are arranged one by one. Chlorophyll molecule, keratinides and so on, they are all arranged together. So these keratinides absorb the light energy from the photon, from the radiation. Immediately they will transfer the same energy into chlorophyll A. So actually chlorophyll A has the ability to convert radiant energy into chemical energy. In this slide, I wish to show the absorption spectra of photosynthetic pigments. See, x-axis, please observe it. X-axis shows the different wavelengths as well as color of the radiation. See, this is absorption peak, absorption level on y-axis. See, in case of chlorophyll A, which absorbs maximum between around 430 nanometer. Chlorophyll B, which absorbs around 455. Phycoerythrin, it's around 560. Phycoerythrin around 625 or 620 and so on. See, this slide shows the maximum absorption level point of different photosynthetic pigments. Next, site of photosynthesis. Till now we are discussing about the chlorophyll molecule involves in photosynthesis. Okay, where is the site? Where is the site of photosynthesis? The site is chloroplast. The structure is very similar. The structure is very similar to mitochondria. The structure is very similar to mitochondria. It has two membranes, that is outer membrane as well as inner membrane. Inside this chloroplast, you can observe the plate-like structures arranged one above the other. The plate-like structures are arranged one above the other. That is nothing but the thylakoid, and each these thylakoids are interconnected by a stroma lamellae. Stroma lamellae. Excluding this thylakoid and stroma lamellae, you can also observe the cytoplasmic content of the chloroplast, that is nothing but the stroma. Now the light reactions of photosynthesis are associated with this thylakoid membrane. Then the dark reaction, that is nothing but the carbon dioxide fixation, are located in the stroma. Stroma is nothing but the cytoplasmic content of chloroplast. See, this is the site of photosynthesis. In this slide, I would like to explain the photosynthetic unit and photochemical reaction center. The photosynthetic unit is the smallest group of molecules. You can observe here. The photosynthetic unit is the smallest group of molecules which collaborate, which aggregate together. Some photosynthetic pigments are aggregate together to cause a photochemical act. ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ? ಟು ಕಾಸ್ ದಿ ಫೋಟೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಏನು ಫೋಟೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ to a trapping center where it brings about the release of an electron. ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೇಡಿಯಂಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇರೋದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ 200 chlorophyll molecules, approximately 50 keratinides, one pigment molecule associated with a specific protein. ಇಷ್ಟು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಫೋಟೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್. ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫೋಟೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ವೇರ್. ಒಂದು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್, ಫೋಟೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಿರೋದೇನೆಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಸೆಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್, ಟು ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಲೈಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಹ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಸಹ ಲೈಟನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ radiant energy into chemical energy. That is nothing but the photochemical reaction center. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಈ 200 molecules ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ, that a specific pigment is associated with some special type of proteins. So this combination gives the ability, strength to convert radiant energy into chemical energy. So here also photochemical reaction center. That means all the pigment molecules in a photosystem can absorb photons, light energy, but there is only one molecule in each cluster that converts the light energy into chemical energy. This specialized energy converting pigment molecule consists of a chlorophyll molecule combined with a specific protein and is called the photochemical reaction center. This chlorophyll complex is associated with a primary electron donor and acceptor. ಒಬ್ರು ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ photosynthesis. In this picture, actually in case of photosynthesis there are two steps. One is light reaction, another one is dark reaction, Kelvin-Benson cycle, C3 cycle, Blackman reaction. There are different synonyms. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ 3-4 ಹೆಸರುಗಳಿದೆ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಿಸಿಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ನೋ ನೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್. ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ಲೈಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಇದ್ರೂ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ದಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಸ್ಡ್. ಸೇ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋಸ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಫೋಟೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. photolysis of water. Water will be degraded in the presence of water. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅನ್ನ NADP ಗೆ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ NADPH ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ADP and inorganic phosphate will be fixed together for the synthesis of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that is nothing but the energy currency of the cell. So light reaction ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ATP NADPH synthesize ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, water utilize ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, light energy utilize ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. In case of dark reaction, atmospheric carbon dioxide will be converted in the form of a sugar, that is nothing but a C6H12O6 glucose molecule ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ATP ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, NADP ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ವಾಪಸ್ NADP and ADP plus pyrophosphate to recycle back ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. See, this is the outline of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Photosynthesis has 2 steps. One is light reaction, second one is dark reaction. In light reaction, there is a production of ATP, there is a production of NADPH and oxygen. Of course, oxygen ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಗೆ, ಅದು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿರಿಕ್ ಏರ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ATP ಮತ್ತು NADPH ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿರಿಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಾನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ 2 ದಟ್ ಡೀಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.